CVA's Accura Series, Bergara barrels for guaranteed accuracy, nitride for guaranteed rust proofing, and a rifle guaranteed to be the best muzzleloader you've ever shot. CVA, it's just a better gun.
All right, welcome back everyone. This week's Picture of the Week being brought to you by Flowers Deer Processing, and they're doing well over there at Flowers. We got what now?
Coming in. Oh yeah, we got our pictures of the week coming up right here.
Right.
Our first picture. This is Ben Micchiato sent us this picture, just a beautiful sky over top of the lake while he was out fishing a few weeks ago, and wanted to share that with us. We appreciate that from Ben. And our next picture, this is Jordan McMillan, and this is a good looking string of fish that he had off of Guntersville Lake. So you were just talking about Guntersville, and I want to say congratulations to Jordan on those fish. And right here, this is John Garza with a big hog that he was able to take.
A nice hog.
And I actually believe that one probably came from Georgia, but he did not list on there where this one came from. But congratulations to John on that hog. And then right here on the end, we've got Miss Casey Hughes, and this is a great buck that she took this past year while traveling to Wyoming and hunting out there. So she was talking to us about that and how much fun they have going out there to hunt. So we want to say congratulations to Casey on that. And if you can send your pictures to us here at the studio, but like we always tell you, get them to us on Facebook or Instagram, and we'll get them right here on the show just as quick as we can.
That's right. Hey, we want to give a big shout out to all of the kids out there and make sure that they all do it safe. Get those parents up early enough that they can get you out there.
It's a good time to go through everything. Be sure you got your orange. We've all been bow hunting for several weeks. Be sure you got your orange.
The night before?
Oh, I still am.
Yeah.
I'll be that way.
Yeah, that's the way it was. I mean,
yeah, I still get that way on certain times. When muzzleloader opens, I'll be 12 pieces.
Oh yeah,
that's
torn up. Rifle season, I'm torn up.
By far my favorite time of the year is muzzleloader season.
Mine too.
And so, yeah, I mean, I still get that way. I guess that's why we love it like we do. You know, I guess when I quit feeling about it that way, I might not do it as much.
I might quit. That's right.
But it is. It still gets you just as excited. I get just as excited today as I did, 20 years ago. I mean, it's no different.
It's no different.
It's not.
Brandon, you and I wanted to talk to our viewers out here a little bit. Don't be afraid to call this weekend.
No.
Don't be afraid to let those kids call this weekend. Do it with some moderation. You don't want to sit there and just grunt that thing and grunt,
No.
But about once and then wait about 30 or 40 minutes and then try it some more.
It's a real good time for it. You only have it's not like with turkeys, in turkeys you can kind of talk back and forth to them all spring pretty well, sometimes better than others, but with deer, while they communicate all the time, you really have kind of a slot there of a few weeks when calling it is very effective for just those few weeks.
That's
It's when it works as well as it does. But this, I always consider the last week of October to be when you grabbing the rattle antlers out. Mine go in the backpack the last week in October. Now some people might tell you before that, some after, but for me, I'll start.
Works for us.
And you want to keep it very light, like you said. You don't want to do. You're not trying to sound like two red stags fighting it out, for their lives. It's
you
just,
could do this in Saskatchewan, or you can do this in Michigan, or you can do it in South Texas, where you really, there's a lot more bucks. The buck to doe ratio is a lot more competition there. We don't have that.
No, and we don't have as much mature buck competition, which is a big part to add to on that, because you go down to South Texas, you might have 3 5.5-year-old bucks at the same time in a food plot, and in the rut there's going to be a fight, and it's going to get serious.
They will poise before one another.
Yeah.
They will get in front of one and they will bow up.
Yeah.
You'll actually see one of them, the hair will stand up on the back of his neck. He's ready.
And
he's
ready
getting aggressive.
They are. And if you get two big mature deer that do that, you're going to have a fight.
You're going to have a fight.
But on your typical day, typical farm here in Middle Tennessee, there's mature deer everywhere, but you're probably not going to have 3 or 4 or 5. So your typical fight here is going to be maybe a good mature buck or even a couple of immatures. But either way, if that big mature buck and he faces off with a 3-year-old, they're going to square off. That's how he learns his lesson. But they're going to kind of push each other a little bit, and tinker a little bit.
Just about like.
Right. And by the time they push just a little bit, he's going to learn that 3-year-old's going to know, I'm done. I don't want none of this. And he's going to go on.
This 5-year-old.
You know, they're not going to just be rolling down the side of the hill, you know, fighting it out. So that's where a lot of people get carried away, is they want to just, and I did, you know, I've been through it too.
Oh,
but
we all did it.
You got to keep it, you know, light tone. Them old bucks get out there, they're going to square off, push around a little bit, tinker tat, and then one of them's going to go on about his way in most cases and move on, and you got your grunt call. You know, you can use your grunt call in and out every 15-20 minutes, a little grunt here or there, very light. Most your grunting that I've seen, especially this time of year, is usually your 2- and 3-year-old bucks as they're following a doe that they think might be hot. He's going to grunt every once in a while as he's walking, almost, you know, to say, here I come, you know, here I come, here I come.
Get closer.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But yeah, just a can call, and no matter what you're using, in moderation, over the next 2 weeks, especially the next 2 weeks, it can be a very effective tool.
And the reason that I use the calls and that is because there's a lot more animals that I can't see than the ones that I am seeing.
Yes.
And I never know if that gargantuous Buckus whitetailus is right behind me.
He could be.
And he could be. And what I need to do is bring him around here to where I can see him or know he's there. So that's the reason light calling, tactic, they're inquisitive.
Yes,
deer are inquisitive.
They're going to come see what's going on.
They want to find out what's going on. And I have rattled in a lot more does than
many
bucks,
does.
because the
rattling lots of does. They're going to see what's going on.
They want to see what's going on.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're going to come and check it out. I call blindly over the next few weeks a little bit. But I also do a lot of calling. I hunt a lot of open areas.
When you see them.
If I see a buck at 300 yards, I'm not picking my rifle up, I'm picking my antlers up.
That's right.
And I many times have turned them and brought them right to us. And you know, he hears
your odds
that.
For every step he makes.
Right. I don't care if he don't come but another 100 yards. Now you got him at 200 yards.
Now you got a 200 yard shot.
Yeah. All of a sudden he's getting in the muzzleloader range.
That's right.
So it's just an extremely effective tool to use, especially when you see one. But again, like you said, blindly, this time of year, do a little blind calling and be very careful of your wind. That's the only thing. Of course, we always try to hunt the wind as best we can. We hunt a lot of small property that's not, I don't have the opportunity to go 500 yards over here and hunt another, or half a mile up here and hunt another spot. So, but you want to be as careful as you can, or at least know that he is going to come downwind of that call when he comes to find it. He will 100% of the time come downwind of that call. Now you might catch him upwind as he makes his way around, but just know he's coming to where he can get downwind of that call. So keep your eyes in that direction.
Another thing we want to remind you of, we've been harping on this for a couple of weeks now, is movement.
Yes.
You know, if you're sitting 30 feet up a tree or 16 feet up a ladder and you're making all this movement, well, he can see that.
Keep it down close to your body.
Like this. And if you do see movement, stop. Stop. Don't move anymore.
Yeah.
And when you catch them behind a tree or something, slowly put them away to where you can get to your weapon.
Yeah, because when he does come, he's coming. He's not going to wait long, because he's looking for that fight, and if he's not going to find it, obviously, and he's going to move on. But he will come in there looking.
And Brandon, I'm going to tell you something. What's driving me nuts is watching these hunting videos on these other shows, and they wait, and they wait, and they wait before. Let me tell you something about me. If that shot makes itself available, that trigger's getting pulled.
Yeah, I was, you know, I was filming this past week on a hunt, and I had a pretty good buck coming down the hill. He was 80, 85 yards away, and it was getting darker, and it was getting darker. And you know, for years I've heard people talk about camera light versus shooting light. Well, there's a big difference there. You know, you learn when you start filming that there's about 15 minutes that you can very easily legally shoot a deer that you can't film it.
That's right.
So as he was coming through there, I kept thinking to myself, you know, he gets up here, I'm going to shoot him, and these folks are just going to have to go with me to blood trail him, because I'm going to shoot this deer. And he never did. But yeah, I mean, we're hunters. You know, we want to bring you film and especially tell you how we did what we did. But if that old buck that I've been chasing for 2 years gives me a shot, and I'm 5 minutes after camera light, but I still got 10 minutes of shooting light, he's going to get it.
He's
you know,
going
and we're going to take all these fine folks on a blood trailer mission. That's right. So
yeah,
that's how we operate sometimes, isn't it?
That's right.
We got to go do this week's product of the week.
Product of the week.
This week's product of the week is being sponsored by our friends over at Caney Fork Outdoors. You can go see them right there at the Center Hill Dam exit at the Big Rock Market, or if you would rather stay right here closer to home, you can see them right there at the Old Donaldson Plaza Shopping Center. Old Donaldson Plaza Shopping Center, right here in Donaldson, Tennessee. All right, we've been talking muzzleloader.
Yep.
All right. Now this is a product here. Everybody is always looking for the cleanest. You know, what's the cleanest powder? What's the powder you guys like? What do you like to do? And I've tried a lot of them over the years. I have just about any powder you can name. I have shot it.
Me too.
But I can say that since and Rick Taylor, I'll give him the credit. Rick Taylor from CVA. He's been on the show with us several times. Told Andy and I about this stuff last year.
He told y'all about it. I've known about it for a little longer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so we started shooting it this past year when we got the new CVAs, and this is the cleanest powder that I've ever shot. And you can take, this is a Magnum type powder. It does require an actual shotgun primer.
Yes.
And you'll have to get a different breech plug, which is simple. CVA send you one. You know, whatever company you choose to shoot, they can send you a breech plug. It'll just be a few dollars to put it in. But as far as the cleanest powder that I have ever fired, this Blackhorn 209 has been the best I've ever shot.
The propulsion feet per second.
It is.
Like 200 and something.
I'm shooting a 250 grain bullet at 1,936 feet a second.
That's
so for a muzzleloader, that's pushing.
That's pushing. And
so anyhow, that's this week's product of the week. And you guys can pick this up at, you know, lots of local outdoor stores. You can go see them right there at blackhorn.com and check them out there and find their product there. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back here in just a few minutes. We're going to open the phone lines for you. We'll have some more Southern Woods and Waters.